It's Week 10 of the National Football League. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Texans and the Bengals on EA Sports.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today we hit double digits, Week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. That good for 22 and a first down. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
You talk about this Bengals defense. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On a determined run there, as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. First down, they go right back to Pierce. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line.
Holding offense.
Titus Howard, right tackle, the man flagged for that one. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. As Stroud now to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Stroud here on 3rd and long. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
The run on 1st down gets him a couple up to the 27. Hey, look at the defense for these Texans. And they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. Again, it's Mixon. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That one taken in by T. Higgins. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He'll get just a yard on the scramble at 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On second down, here's Pierce. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Wilson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. On 4th down, here's Cameron Johnston on to punt for Houston. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week, as his first one here's away. Jones on the return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. They'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. Able to slither by. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Pierce gets this one running right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Stroud on 3rd down now. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 18. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Stroud working out of the gun. That's complete. It's Collins. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. And it's caught. And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Pierce. Is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. On the return is Charlie Jones. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. So how about this for a turn? And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. And he'll just get rid of it.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Bengals. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. McPherson on for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. Jordan Love has thrown a touchdown pass. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Lamar Jackson with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. The Colts locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They were winners a week ago against Buffalo, and they lead here with a 1st and 10. Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7. Burrow will throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage. And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 58 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Smith catches left side. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Mixon is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Just power football there. Down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, the next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Stroud. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
On the return is Jones. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. First down, here's Burrow. Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. He may go. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this is back to an 8-point game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, yeah, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Here we go.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Burrow looking to pass. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 28.
That's good for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Now Burrow. And that one complete once again to Higgins. From the 21, here's 2nd down and 3.
11 coming. Stop.
Mixing up the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll take this into the end zone for Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Bengals are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. McPherson now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Houston's offense taking over again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Stroud. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow able to find Higgins. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. There he goes, left side. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 10-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. This is caught. And he's going to have a 1st down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Bengals have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 0-0. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Oh, nice move. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 159 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard charging run, give it right back to him and let him cap things off.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Texans 20.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Houston set to take over. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is